Like something straight out of a Clint Eastwood Western, here we have the biggest and baddest gunslinger in any video game ever, the OG Scarface, John Marston. He travels against his will to Armadillo, yeah, you heard it right, and I said it right, thanks to these two corrupt bastards, two Bureau of Investigation officials, Ross and Fordham. They want Marston to find his old comrade, Bill Williamson, and bring him back to Blackwater in order to earn his freedom. Marston arrives at Armadillo and finds Fort Mercer pretty quickly. And even better, he finds Bill right away, but not before BAM!
Oh. Poor guy.
Bill shoots Marston and leaves him for dead, even though Marston implored Bill to think it over and just give up because things were not getting easier from there on out. Luckily, a sassy farm girl named Bonnie finds Marston and nurses him back to health before the lizards in the desert got to him.
Well, you're alive.
He goes back into town and links up with the U.S. Marshal Johnson in hopes of getting closer to capturing Bill. Johnson gives up a laundry list of all the problems he has to deal with in Armadillo, but let's face it, with a name like Armadillo, you're bound to have a plethora of issues. Being the fair and helpful outlaw that he is, Marston agrees to help Johnson in exchange for assistance in getting Bill and taking down Fort Mercer. And so, a beautiful little friendship begins, which involves kicking wannabe gangsters' asses. Meanwhile, Marston meets the gentlemanly potion hustler Dickens, the I haven't showered in 6 months necrophiliac treasure hunter Seth, and of course the quintessentially Irish alcoholic guns dealer named, drumroll please, Irish. Seriously, boyo? They couldn't think of anything else?
Untrustworthy, poor in personal hygiene, lacking in the finer qualities of a gentleman.
After aiding these oddballs in their respective adventures, Marston and the men all form a plan and a posse that will ultimately take down Fort Mercer and Bill. In a classic Trojan horse ambush, the group annihilates everyone at Fort Mercer, only to find that Bill has already fled to Mexico to seek help from another former gang member, Javier Escuela. What a little bitch.
That should make things interesting.
So Marston goes to Mexico and meets people from both the Mexican army and the rebel side. Mind you, there's a revolution going on at this point, but this isn't the History Channel, so we're not going to get into that. All seems well until the asshole Captain DeSanta pulls a fast one and almost kills Marston, but not before Reyes, the leader of the rebellion and Marston's ally, busts a cap in someone's ass and rescues Marston. Marston finally finds Javier during a raid of the Mexican colonel's fortress, and despite almost getting away, homeboy is surely captured and handed over to Ross and Fordham. The Bureau bitches and inform our hero that after killing Bill, he still has to go to Blackwater to find his old gang's leader, Dutch. Reyes, Marston, and the rebels storm Colonel Allende's palace, where Bill's been hiding, and eventually find the colonel and the dumb inbred hick Bill.
You always was a traitor, you bastard orphan!
And you always was a dumb inbred hick!
Esta noche duermo en tu cama, cabrón.
All right, John. I'll come quietly.
Marston murders Bill and treks back to Blackwater. After a back and forth between Dutch and Marston, Dutch practically hands himself over on a silver platter when he's cornered by Marston at the edge of a cliff. Rather than draw guns, Dutch makes things a billion times easier and takes control of his own destiny. How does one do that? You jump off of a cliff, because either way, the law will just find another monster to hunt down, right?
So at the end, you didn't have the guts to shoot.
The man's dead, Ross.
Sure.
Finally, peace for Marston. He goes back to his ranch, probably has make-up sex with Abigail, spends some time with his prospector-looking uncle, and his not really angsty but actually super respectful son Jack. What do you know? A happy ending in the Wild West. Well, folks, we hope you enjoyed our summary of Red Dead Redemption. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, comment. Jesus fucking Christ! A whole artillery comes and attacks the Marston Ranch. They kill Uncle. But Abigail and Jack manage to get away thanks to our hero, the bravest, baddest motherfucker in the West, Marston. And what happens to a man with a gun outnumbered by almost 20 men with guns? Well, I think we all know. And there you have it, folks. John Marston dies at the filthy hands of the Bureau bottom bitches Ross and his goons. Years later, though, after Abigail dies, a fully grown-up Jack goes and finds Ross. And just like his dad, he's a hell of a shot. Jack gets his rightful revenge in the name of his uncle and his dad. So remember folks, the most savage beings are the ones who won't do their own dirty work. Lawmen bad, outlaws good. Or at least in the case of Red Dead Redemption.